In the sport of football, anybody, any day may have to step up to become that key difference maker that pushes their team over the edge for a win. And when the Steelers ran headfirst into the massage enthusiast himself, the Browns seemed to have the advantage, at least in all areas except one: the punter. Pressley Harvin, sometimes known as the thicker kicker, the fridge, or as I like to call him, Mr. Can't decide if he's going to be the league MVP or unfit to even play at this level. We would see the league MVP version of him today. His first ball of the night, a massive 51-yarder off the right foot of Pressley. The returner liked his chances if he just let that ball be decided by the gods where it was going to end up, but he forgets that when Pressley is on, the bounce is even more on, as that ball comes to a gentle rest at the 5-yard line. His next boot, he crushes. The returner can't even get close to it as there are too many Steelers in the area guarding its landing spot and eventually escorting that ball down inside the 10. It was clear the Steelers wanted to do more than just inside the 10. He was greenlit for the go for it ball. He rears back on one, drops the nose, throws up a prayer, and you can't place it any better as it hits at the 0.5-yard line. But this time, for once, the bounce wasn't on his side with this well-placed punt as it goes in for a touchback. But in the second half, tides would turn. The Browns take the lead, and another ball by Harvin would land right next to a teammate at the 5-yard line, but would be unsuccessfully corralled to allow his second touchback of the night as he began to realize he'd have to take this game into his own hands. As he'd come back out at the bottom of the third, "You might as well stay on the bench," he'd say to his team as he'd hit a pearl, a beautiful punt that takes a more beautiful roll. No assistance required as it goes perfectly out of bounds inside the 1, and with less than 2 minutes in the third while trailing, what else could you even ask for? Well, how about in the fourth? Nothing changing on the scoreboard but the time. A big press is staring down 4th and 21 from inside the opposite 40 now. And he puts a ball up high enough that apparently as a returner was staring at it, he saw God. And God said, "Let my football go." And go he let it as it skirted for another 16 yards and could have gone further but was brought to a stop at the 5 once again. And constantly being put with your back against the wall like this, you're eventually gonna blink. You're eventually gonna drop your guard, and in the trenches they will punish you, as we see as a forced fumble returned for a game-changing touchdown, and largely the Browns' low score can be attributed to the efforts of PH3.
What are they going to do offensively?